Team, what I have for you today are 5 items used and relied on by the military and many of the ways that they can be used to affect survival. Let's get after it. Team, a folding saw is a force multiplier when it comes to your field craft. Most people in the service are going to carry a small one like this. It has about an 8-9 inch blade. Now these are super cost effective, but you get what you pay for. And although this is what most service members who carry one may put in their kit bag, they're a little bit weaker. And they're only good for just a few inches of a cut. Otherwise, you may end up ruining and damaging your blade. On the opposite end of the spectrum is something like the Silky Big Boy. This dude is huge, costs a little bit more, and you're not going to find too many warfighters that are going to carry something this large and cumbersome, but it is super effective. So what can we do with a folding saw, whether it's large or small? We can use it to cut branches in order to make shelter. We can use it to process some firewood to get things down into smaller pieces that we can use either a knife or a hatchet for. And of course, if need be, we can cut off some dadgum limbs and zombie heads.
I'm your huckleberry.
Now, paracord is issued in spools like this in the military. Of course, you can buy this online in spools as well. It's about 1,200 feet. Paracord has a breaking strength of 550 pounds, otherwise known as 550 cord, and is used in parachute rigging. But as we know, paracord is way more multifunctional than just being able to keep our warfighters safe as they fall from the sky and prepare to invade the enemy's position. Smaller runs of paracord can be used for any number of resources, including hanging our pack, setting up a ridgeline. In this case, we lashed our poles together and set up a bipod frame for our tarp. And as we've shown in the past, paracord has any number of purposes, from being able to break through restraints, the ability to cut itself. And one of the most common ways that we use paracord, especially in the military, is to dummy cord our items, especially our sensitive items, to our person. Beyond the shadow of a doubt, paracord is to the military as duct tape is to the rest of the world. So the E-tool or entrenching tool is one of the most beloved and well-used pieces of equipment that the U.S. military has had in its arsenal going back over a century. This particular Ames one is absolutely fantastic and damn near unstoppable. But why do we love these things? They're heavy, they're bulky, and they oftentimes get in the way. And anymore in modern times, a lot of guys don't even realize the value of the E-tool. Of course, they can be used to do everything from digging fire pits to fighting positions, and it cuts through fast a lot of the work that we have to get done out in the field. Of course, the E-tool gets folded up flat as such, but it is super quick to deploy into either a hoe or into a shovel, right? We lock it in place, which you need to do or else you're gonna pinch your freaking fingers off, and now you're good to go. But an E-tool can be used for a lot more than that. But this thing also makes a super great field expedient stool, whether you're sitting around by a campfire trying to eat your food, or whether you need to take some wet wipes out into the woods, set this thing down after you dig your cat hole, and now you have something to set a cheek on so that you're not leaning back or holding on to a tree or doing anything else crazy. You can control the flow and you have a lot more stability. And I hope you'll appreciate me not demonstrating that to you. But trust me, it works, it's effective. But one of the other reasons why this E-tool is so beloved in the United States military is because it has been used in combat. Medals of honor have been awarded for people, especially during Korea and Vietnam. As the enemy was assaulting, we have heroes and warfighters finding themselves in a position where they have to abandon their weapon because they ran out of ammo and they've killed all the commies that they can. And then they pick up that E-tool and they start swacking, hacking, and fighting, killing off commies left and right, motivating others to continue the assault or the defense, and ultimately come out on top with a big stinking W. Of course, the canteen cup and stove assembly has been used for close to 100 years, almost in its current configuration. This particular one is a titanium one, but warfighters have used and relied on the canteen cup for any variety of its multifunctional purposes. We can use this thing, of course, to drink and consume some water or coffee. We can use it to prepare a saline solution. We can use it to cook in, and as even the old man used it for, we can use this thing to help us get a good clean shave. Hey, bub. Good boy. Sit. And if you didn't know, every single time that you like, share, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell, my flask gets filled with the tears of a commie. Oh, man, it tastes so good. So fresh, Mom will kiss this now. Inside every MRE is a small accessory pack. In this thing, we have all kinds of goodies. Most of the time, you'll have coffee and creamer, things of this nature, but in each and every single one, there is a small packet of salt. Why does every accessory packet contain salt? It has about 1 teaspoon. So it's too much salt to flavor and season our food, but it's not enough salt to preserve food in an emergency survival situation. So why do we have the specific amount of salt in each and every MRE? The answer is because salt is multifunctional, and we forget about this a lot of the times. With this specific amount of salt, we can create a saline solution, cleanse our mouth, ward away infections, fight sores, using about 6 ounces of warm water that's purified. We can mix the salt in and use this as a mouthwash. So the same saline solution can be used to treat wounds as well. It's going to get rid of bacteria and infections. You can also use salt to replenish electrolytes, especially during the warmer weathers or if we've exerted a lot of energy. We can ingest salt to help replenish those electrolytes that we've lost because it's a really quick and fast way to do just that. Oh yeah. And even in my field stripped MREs, I always carry that packet of salt in there because of its multifunctional uses. I hope you enjoyed the content of this one. If you did, if something resonated with you, if something applied to you, or if you think I was 50 shades wrong, leave some comments down below so we can continue to keep this conversation rolling. Oh, Riggs, come on. As always, until then, you stay out there, you keep grinding, and you stay stoked. And how can we apply things like the first principle of leadership, which is to know yourself and seek self-improvement? How can we apply these things to ourselves in order to become the best version of who we can be, who we say we want to be, and have the awareness of when we fall short? And again, it's too easy to look out around us and draw value in things that we cannot control. It could be a negative thing, right? We do that a lot, but we also do it with the positive things. If you allow a relationship with somebody to bring value and meaning to your life, and it defines who you are, and that is the end state, right? There's certainly something amazing, like with Mrs. Stoker and mine relationship, man. We've been rocking together for 26 years, almost 26 years. And so that there's a lot of foundation there. But ultimately, if we're not right with ourselves, and with that which is bigger than ourselves, we can never be right together. Does that make sense? And so if I'm looking at a surface level relationship with somebody, and they are defining, right, I can never be happy if I'm not in a relationship. I can never be happy if I'm not having, great sex or going out and having a good time partying and getting drunk or doing drugs or whatever. These are all superficial things that ultimately can never give you the happiness that you really want. Same thing with the negative things, man. It's too easy to let these things come into our ears, eat down in our hearts, and redefine who we are. Hey, bud. Team, if you want to master your craft and develop your tactical virtue, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell so that you can stay up to date on future content. Consider becoming a channel member. It's going to give you exclusive access to content not available to anybody else. I appreciate you guys. Until then, you stay out there, you keep grinding, and you stay stoked.